Welcome to 12D Synergy 12D Model Integration for version 4. 12D model projects inside 12D Synergy look like this. So just per normal, you'll have your project description, but in 12D Synergy you also get your project details and of course your last active view. Up the top on the ribbon here we have the open button, the checkout button and the history button. A 12D model project structure itself looks like this. 12D Synergy will assign the 12D model icon to it, give it a working folder, and under the working folder you have of course your backups and .project folder and any other subfolders that may be under there. Even when uploading an existing project, 12D Synergy will rearrange the project to ensure each 12D model project has its own unique working folder. So let's have a look at creating a 12D model project. Come to the folder that you want to create it under, right click, New 12D model project. Now if you just want to create a standard 12D model project, you'd fill out the name, the version, pick your customization. However, in this, the Synergy administrator has set up 12D model project templates and some system attributes. One of those attributes is project type, which defines which 12D model project template it will use and assign a naming rule to it as well. So we're going to pick drainage project. You'll see the attributes down the bottom come in for the name builder. So we just fill those out. In this case, this is the drop down list, so we get to pick. Same with the zone. And for the description, a text attribute. So we just give it a brief description of what it's for. So as you fill those out, you'll notice that the project gets named for you. Okay. You do have other optional system attributes there that you can click in and fill those values out. Okay. But because they're in italic font, they are optional. Note that for this training we are using the new customize setting, which is download customization at 12D model startup, and then we hit create. So project has been created successfully. There it is there. Of course, the other way to create a 12D model project is if you have an existing one inside a local or network drive, you can drag and drop it. So here I've got a typical working folder. You can see all the files and subfolders underneath there. Just grab the working folder and drag and drop it to where you want it to go. Again, because there's system attributes, you will be asked to fill those out, and we do have one required there. So this one's a road project. Hit set. This will bring up the upload preview so you can check that it's in the right location before hitting upload. And that will copy the 12D model project into 12D Synergy. Just note, naming rules will not apply to existing projects when brought into 12D Synergy. So you can see there it's kept its name. Alright, opening a 12D model project. A few ways you can do this. First of all, you can do it with checking out first. So you can come up to the ribbon, check out the project. Of course, checking out locks it to you so nobody else can edit it. And then we can select the open button. This will bring up the environment configuration. System administrator has given us a default location here, so I just need to pick what configuration I want. Of course, this is all optional. And then hit open. It's the first time this project's opening. And there it is, brand new project, ready to go. Of course, the other way to open a project is directly. So we can just select the project, and instead of checking out, just hit the open button. Again, this will bring up the configuration selector, so pick my customization and hit open. Now this is the first time this project is being checked out, so its entirety is being copied to your local workspace. However, the next time the project is checked out, only folders or files that have been modified get copied across, therefore minimizing that network traffic. Likewise, when a project is checked back in, only the items that have changed get copied back to the server, not the entire project. There's my highway project. When it comes to checking in, there are a few different ways to do that as well. You can do the full check-in. So let's bring up my other project. Just going to go project save and project exit as per normal. Come back to the 12D Synergy client, select it, and come up to the ribbon and select check-in. Alright, I'm going to go for a manual description on my history here, not a predefined one. I'm going to type my comment. Okay, typical manage folder, you can see what's changed, what's new, etc. You do have the option to keep the checkout status, but I'm just going to hit submit and that'll do a full check-in. There we go, check-in complete. The other way to check in a 12D model project is from within the project itself using the project menu. So we go project, 12D Synergy, check-in project. Yes, I'll save it. Now in this case I'm just going to do a working update. Again, you can just see what's changed, so I'm just going to hit check-in. Now this one keeps the checkout status on. You can see it ticked on there, you don't have a choice. Therefore it'll update the server but leaves the project checked out and open so you can keep editing it. Alright, so I'm just going to save and close that one now. Come back to the 12D Synergy client, you can still see it's checked out. Of course, if you want to not make any changes and you want to not have it checked out anymore, you can always come up to the ribbon and cancel the checkout. There we go, it's now released back to the server. Alright, let's have a look at customization. So to do that, I'm going to open up the workspace location for this folder. And you will see that in here is the user folder. It has been cached to the workspace. So just to show you what happens here, I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to reopen the project. So we go open. Because we're pointing to a configuration which is using a synergy path, and we're using the new customization setting, 12D Synergy will cache the user or user libraries into your workspace location. And in future, if anything changes, only the changes will be downloaded automatically the next time you check out projects. Okay, you can see our project there. If I bring back up that Windows Explorer window, you'll see that the user folder and its contents have been cached back into the workspace. And how that happens is if we go and have a look at our configuration file and have a look at the environment settings for that one, you'll see under files and folders that there is a synergy path location that has been set. And on any user or library folder location, you can set that by clicking on the browser and going browse 12D synergy. You can then browse to the folder that it's required. You can even change job if it belongs somewhere else. Okay, so we're just going to exit out of that one now. If you have permissions, you can edit a standard file. So when using custom files from 12D Synergy, if you have permissions to edit them within your user and user libraries, you can do this from within your 12D model project. So for example, if I wanted to edit the names.4d file, I can open up the editor here. Make the changes required. Is set, and when I write this file now, if I choose to write it to the user folder, which is synergy path, and go write, it will automatically check that file out for me so that I can edit it. So if I finish that and finish the editor, come back to the 12D Synergy client and have a look at my user folder, you'll see that the names.4d file has been checked out. It won't automatically check it back in because it doesn't know when you're finished with it. You will have to do that yourself. So we can check it back in now. Submit that. And now everybody else will have access to those changes. Next we're going to have a look at sharing. So in our 12D model project, I want to share in the survey data. So of course you can do that through the menu, Project, Management, Sharing, or I can turn on the toolbar for sharing and select the sharing manager from here. So of course here, this is where you can make models and tins available from your project for sharing. But to share in models or tins from another project, come down to the bottom left here and select New Project. It will default to Source 12D Synergy because that's where we've opened this project from. But you can also share from a local or network location as well. But let's go and browse for the project now. So it'll open up to the current job, but you can change jobs of course. And browse to the project we want. Hit select. Set. That adds it to the tree here. And now we can come and choose the models we want to share in. I'll just go through and select a variety there, including a raster. When you're ready, hit add. For those that have shared before, you'll know you get the yellow highlight, which lets you know that it's now in your current project. And we can do the same with our tin. Alright, finish that. Of course, now we can come and add those models. To our view. Okay, so I'm going to go save this project and I'm going to exit out of it now. and I'm also going to check it back in. So let's go survey shared in and hit submit. Now what happens normally in 12D model is if you close a project and then you go, oh no, I forgot to make some models and tins available for sharing, you have to open up the project again and make them available. In 12D Synergy, however, you can simply right click on the project, go edit 12D model project, come down to sharing, and you can tick on the models and tins in this location. So there we go, there's the models, and I can make these tins available as well. Don't forget to hit save, and without having to open the project, 12D Synergy has made those available so others can now share them in. So that's a really nice feature. Whilst we're in the Edit 12D Model project, let's have a look at permissions. So you can create, if you create a project, you automatically have full permission to it. Permissions to other users can then be set without opening the project. Permissions can also be set at folder levels, but if you want to set it per individual project, you go to permissions and you can apply permissions either per user, for groups, or roles. Let's have a look at groups. And let's come and add the design group in. Now you can use explicit permissions. However, the three main permissions for 12D model projects are these ones here. That's can you view a 12D model project? So that's can you see it in the job tree over here. Can you directly open the 12D model project? That means do you have write access to it? And of course, can you share from that 12D model project? So of course, allow allows all those. Well, let's go and add another group. And maybe for the drainage group, we can allow them to see it, but we're not going to allow them to open and edit it, but we will allow them to share from it. Now, undefined defaults to denied. So if no other permissions are inherited from above, they will be denied there, or you can deny them outright. Likewise, there may be another group that you don't even want them to see the project in the list. So you can deny that. That means they will not be allowed to even, let alone see it, they won't be allowed to open it or even share from it. When you've set permissions, make sure you save to save those changes. You can import and export using 12D Synergy. So let's go and open up this project again. You'll notice no files being transferred across anymore because I already have the latest from when I had it open. We're going to look at importing first up using the browser. So from within the 12D model project, I'm going to go through the usual file, data import, and we'll import a 12DA. And we can use the browser here. And there's a couple of different options. You can use browse, which searches the current job. You can use the browse file system, which will browse a local or network drive. And you can use browse 12D Synergy, which will take you back to the job search area. Okay, so you can use any of those options. The browse will take you to the current job and you can go and search for your file. However, probably an easier way to import items is just going to the client itself, browse to where the file is that you want, pick on it, and drag and drop it onto the view you want to read it into. It'll directly open up the correct reader, and then you can select read and it'll read the data straight in. So it doesn't get much easier than that. Right, you can export to 12D Synergy a few different ways as well. The first way is via the working folder. So if we go and write a file, so I'm going to go File, Data Out, and we're just going to write a 12D archive file. And I'm going to pick the alignments model. So let's call it Align 1. And I'm not browsing anywhere, I'm just going to hit Write. And you know that writes it to the working folder. And 12D Model Projects being a managed folder, you know if I check this project back in, that data will also get checked back into Synergy. However, if I want to copy it to a different folder or move it to a different folder, I can do. I can now go and select that file, come down to 12D Synergy and select Add. I then just have to browse to where I want it to go. So we want to write to our 12DA folder, go select, and I'm going to move it so I don't end up with a duplicate. And let's go manual description, and let's go new alignment file for client. Oh. And hit submit. Alright, so now that's been taken out of the working folder, and if we come to our 12D Synergy client and have a look at our outputs, there it is. Alternatively, you can use export to a 12D Synergy folder. So this is saving a file directly to a 12D Synergy folder by checking it in via the pending files. So again, we're just going to write our file, again another 12DA file. Let's go view this time. Instead of giving it a name here, we're actually going to browse directly to a Synergy folder. So I'm going to pick my output 12DA folder again. I'm going to give it a name, hit select, and then I'm going to hit write. Finish that. However, if I come back to my 12D Synergy client, you'll notice that that file is not there. It's what we call a pending file, so it still has to be checked in. And to do that, we just go to the project menu, 12D Synergy, pending files. This will bring up a list of files here. You can come and pick the one you want, and then you can check it in. Again, provide your history description. Alignment file for client, and hit submit. So now if we come back to the 12D Synergy client, you'll see our file is now located in the folder. Alright, so let's go and save and exit our project again. And of course I'm going to check it back in. I'll just use the working update this time. Right, offlining 12D model projects. In many cases, it can be necessary to take a 12D model project out of the office, whether it be to a satellite office with limited internet connectivity or directly into the field for use with 12D Field. In these cases, connectivity to the 12D Synergy server may no longer be possible. So you can use the offline feature to help you. So how do you take your 12D model project offline? The offline process will check out the 12D model project so no one else can edit it on you whilst you are out. So simply right click on the project, come down to data out and select offline export. This will give you the two options. We want to offline, which means we can then bring the data back into Synergy. Export is just exporting a copy of the project out. It can never come back. Offline, we'll get three choices now. I just want to do this project, but you have the option to choose others, or you can do this project plus any project that has shares from it. This is where 12D Synergy will ask you where do you want to put the project. Now I have a designated offline folder, which I'm going to select. So obviously Synergy will ask you if you want to take your setups. Yes, I do. It will then ask you to open the project to confirm. Project will open to confirm what the setups it needs, and also if any models or tins have been shared in, so that they can also be cached to your offline project, like our survey models and tin. There you go, pack and go has successfully been done, so you go OK on that. I can close the project down from here now. There's a option to open up a window browser so you can see the project in its offline location. And you can close down your 12D Synergy client and you can now go out into the field. In which case you can open up that project through the normal methods. So let's go browse here. Going to browse to that project. And go open. So the project now opens offline. And I can use 12D model as per normal. So I can go and make changes basically. So let's go and draw. Let's go and draw a box. There we go. So do more offline changes. I'm going to save and exit that one. Then you come back into the Office or Internet range and you fire up your 12D Synergy client again. Go to where your project is located. Instead of browsing through the folder structure, I may even just use this one here, right click on it and go to. There we go. You can see it's offline, so now I need to bring that back online. So we're going to right click on it. We're going to go data out and we're going to online that project now. What this process will do is it will copy the offline data into our workspace location. Okay, that's what it's saying here. So yes, you can choose to keep your offline copy or delete it. I'm going to delete it so I don't have duplicates. There we go, project has been brought back online. You can see from the last active view the box that I have drawn is there. And of course it's still checked out, so we can open it up and keep editing it. Unless you want to check it back into the server. So we can just go check in. Let's go manual description and we'll go offline data added. Submit. we go, check-in is done. So now the offline data is in, and all those changes are saved back to the server, and the project is now released for somebody else to edit it. Alright, history. So as with all files in 12D Synergy, you can always view the history of a 12D model project. You can see who made a change, when, and why. So we're going to click on the project here, and we're going to come up to the ribbon and select history. Well, it's a good idea. You can do the tick on to show preview here, and as you click on your different versions, you can see the changes. But in here you can see who made the change, you can see the type of change it was, you can see when it was done, and of course the description that was added. You can also perform rollbacks from here. So if you want to perform a local rollback, you can by simply selecting the rollback button. This means that only the files of that version will be delivered to your machine, and you can open up the project locally to see this. However, if you wish to roll back the server version, you must first check out the project, roll back to the version you wish, and then check it back in. Another way to see the history or access logs is by right-clicking on the project and going Edit 12D Model Project. Under Utilities, you can see an access log. So this is when people have had direct access, or any type of open, could be a read-only open as well. You've got the history, so that's what we just seen. These are the direct changes. And you've got the audit trail, which is everything. There's some extra features here as well. So you can rename a 12D model project. So back underneath General, you can then come and change the name here. For example, we could rename it to be more compliant with our naming rules. Rename it up there, hit save, and now the project is renamed. You can also delete a 12D model project. So under Utilities, you have the Delete button here under the General tab. Just note the red writing. If you delete a 12D model project, it will be removed forever and it cannot be undone. Something to note that Synergy provides an easy way of doing is opening up a 12D model project read-only. This is great for those that do not wish to make changes but simply evaluate the data inside the project without preventing others from editing the data. So you can select that project, next to the open button hit the black arrow, and you can say open without checkout. Hit the open. This will confirm with you, so yes, we'll check it out, but if you hit no, it will open up the project read-only. There it is. You can see in the title up there, read-only. So I can't save any changes to this project. Another new feature for version 4 in 12D Synergy is you can edit multiple projects at once. In other words, check out many. So you can simply come across to the ribbon here. Instead of hitting checkout, you can hit the black arrow and you can go check out many. Then you can just browse to your projects and you can pick the ones you want to check out at that particular time. So I could go that one, and that one, hit select, and it would check out all three of those projects. There we go. And likewise in reverse, you can check in many. So again, come to the check in button, but this time hit the little black arrow on the side and go check in many. Again, browse to where your projects are, pick the ones that are required and select check in. No changes were made, but I'll just check in anyway. Yes, and I'll just go working updates. Just note that to copy a 12D model project, you can also just right click on the project and select Copy 12D Model Project. This will ask you where you want to copy it to. Select the folder, and yes, copy the project with a new name, or you can cancel the operation. So go yes there, and again you can copy it. Maybe you want to do an option. The copying process will reset the IDs. So 12D Synergy will take care of all that. And there we go. Project has been copied from the original.